Let's get started right away. These are the basic tools and supplies I recommend when making and assembling jewelry. First of all, pliers. You'll need 3 types. This is a flat nose plier. This one's a round nose plier. And this is a cutter. Today we're only using these two, the flat one and the cutter. The round one, not today. You'll also need a leather or fiber cord. I like to use 1.5 to 2 millimeter thickness, and metal wire. This is a brass wire. There's a link in the description below. And a rounded stick. Here I'm using the handle of a brush because it's tapered from thick to thin. That way I can test how big I want my jump rings to be. And of course your handmade pendants in whatever shape or form you like. A little tip. Always make some extra beads with leftover clay. You will be surprised how often they come in handy for jewelry, wall hangings or seasonal ornaments. Alright, let's go to the first one, because as you've seen in my thumbnail, I'm showing you 4 different techniques. Take a cord, fold it in half. Pull both ends through the hole and make an attachment like this. Make sure the cord isn't twisted, especially with chunkier pendants. This knot works really well. The next method with a bead. Make sure your pendant hangs nicely centered. And try to pull both ends of the cord through the bead. That's why it's handy to make beads with different hole sizes. Beads with slightly larger holes work well for this because 2 cord ends need to fit through. Looks great. You can leave it just like this or make an extra knot, like I show you. Method. This one looks simple, but it's one of my favorites. Make sure that the cords lay nicely next to each other when you knot them, otherwise it gets messy. It's just a basic knot, but I still want to show you because I love simple, clean details. And this knot works great for thicker pendants or non-round shapes as well. Okay, now the fourth method, making jump rings. I use brass wire, 1 mm thick. Make sure to buy the harder, sturdier type of brass wire because there's also a softer version, and if you use that, your rings will bend out of shape and your pendants might fall off. By all means, I'm not a jewelry maker, obviously. I'm just showing you how I do it my way. I like to make spirals, then cut them, just eyeballing the first ring. And then cut again right above that spot and repeat. Let me show you a close-up. See how I twist the ends away from each other? You don't pull them apart sideways, just twist them. It takes a little practice. If you don't like your first ring, just remove it and try again. And remember, no perfection needed. Bring the ends together with your flat pliers and use your fingers to adjust it. Let's put a cord through. Looks nice, right? My 5-kilometer walk. It's drizzling. But I came prepared for heavier rain. I stuffed my rain poncho into my hood. That way my hands are free and it doesn't bother me. It's my practical, out-of-the-box thinking, I guess. Before I finish the video, I want to quickly show you how the necklace length looks. Of course, you can adjust the length to your own preference, as long as it fits over your head. If you want to wear it shorter, you can make a slip knot in your cord, and you can find lots of tutorials for that there on YouTube. Almost at the end now, but I just wanted to show you this pendant with this particular knot. I love the simplicity of it, don't you? And by the way, these little jump rings also work perfectly for smaller charms.